President-elect Trump just rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange after the publication named him as their first person of the year. And he made news in that Time interview about pardons for January 6 defendants. Trump saying, quote, "It's going to start in the first hour," he says, maybe the first 9 minutes. He also walked back his pledge to bring down grocery prices. Let's get right to NBC's Brian Chung at the Stock Exchange. Brian, what did the president-elect say about grocery prices exactly?
Yeah, well, he spoke to Time talking about the issue with grocery prices, saying that once prices go up, it's pretty hard to bring them back down. And that was confirmed by data that we got from the government yesterday in the form of the Consumer Price Index. This is a read on inflation that showed that prices in America on a monthly basis increased by 0.4%. Yes, a lot of that was grocery prices, with eggs a dozen going up about by $1.50. But you also have just across the board food away from home, just the cost of dining out remaining expensive as well. But it seems like the president-elect is acknowledging that, yes, inflation is the type of animal where, yes, prices go up, but you don't want a deflationary environment where those readings are negative, because that usually means you're in a recession. There's kind of a balance there. So it's not necessarily that the president-elect wants to reverse some of these price increases. It's rather just slowing the pace of those price increases on it.
And I understand, Brian, you grabbed the president-elect as he was walking out and he spoke about tariffs. What did he say?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we are on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange after all. This is Wall Street defined, and I spotted on the floor there was the CEO of Goldman Sachs, the CEO of Verizon, Hans Vestberg, was here as well. The business environment is pretty excited about this new presidency. They saw the playbook from the first round, lower regulation, lower taxes, but there is the looming concern that Wall Street and a lot of CEOs have over what the tariffs would do if those costs are passed on to businesses. That would be a big impact. But the question is, what would be the timing of those tariffs? Take a listen to this exchange I had with them just a few minutes ago. When it comes to tariffs, would you implement them on day one?
Well, you're going to be finding out, but we want fairness from other countries. We have not been treated fairly, and we're going to get fairness.
So he said you'll find out, not necessarily pointing to whether or not he would. He has said in the past that it would be a negotiating tactic. In an interview with our colleague Kristen Welker just over the weekend, he said that it has had the effect of, in some cases, with, for example, pre-inauguration conversations with even Canada, in his words, having the effect of already leading to what is now what he describes as a trickle at the border, just by threatening a 25% tariff on our neighbors to the north. So, again, is this a negotiating tactic? Is this something he actually intends to do on day one? And in his response to my question, not necessarily clear, but it seems like the president-elect wants to keep that door open and at least that lever at his disposal.